This is Ricky, and his welding skills could be better. So we're sending Ricky and Mickey to Lincoln Electric's welding school in Cleveland, Ohio to attend a week-long motorsports welding class. At throtl, we do a lot of in-house fabrication, and with this class, we'll be able to build even better cars. The motorsports welding program starts off with lectures going over the basics of welding, but quickly gets into the lab for hands-on welding. They'll get their very own welding booths where they can practice on a variety of materials while getting feedback from an experienced instructor. Let's get into it.
Alright, so we just got our first basic introduction to TIG welding. Man, look at this.
Got our motorsports TIG kit. Everything is organized for us. Gotta get our tungsten so we can go sharpen it. They just showed us how to do all that.
I got a welding cap, bro.
That's so you don't get your jerry curl on fire.
Yeah, dude, my hair's caught on fire so many times. See right here, this is the metal itself melting into its own metal. There's no filler here. So what the instructor wants us to do is want us to get used to the point and how much it takes for us to start making this gauge of a metal.
I can't believe how much filler rod you go through. I wasn't anticipating having to move my other hand so fast.
So this is Mickey, this is without the rod, this is with the rod, and then this is me without the rod and with the rod.
All right, now that we've done sort of a dry run, we're gonna try to stick a couple pieces of metal together here. I'm having a hard time knowing where this is at. I'm like,
so you want me to tell you how far you are?
I can't see. Not the best, that's for sure.
This is your first weld, that's good.
That's my first weld ever that I've ever done, like TIG.
Oh wow! Look at this! So this is my first TIG weld overlapping. And I noticed that it wasn't as smooth as before when I was practicing on a flat surface. I moved my tip away from the edge, and that kind of helped me lay more beats. I figure it out after. Let's see if I can continue from here. That was way better.
Yeah, that was really good.
And then, I don't know.
A little later.
You master welder yet or what?
Oh my god, I don't know. You tell me.
Damn, no, this is looking a lot better than when I left.
Yeah, not bad, right?
All right, we're gonna step away from the TIG area. Well, Ricky's over there perfecting his TIG welds. I'm gonna step over in the MIG area with Travis Edmonds. He's our welding instructor. He's been teaching our class and also showing us how to actually weld. One thing that we wanted to touch on really quick during this video was the difference between what you guys probably see on Instagram. I guess they're called beauty welds or...
Yeah, stacking dimes maybe, or
okay.
pretty welds. Yeah.
You know, we all see them and we're like, wow, that's sick. But the reality is sometimes, although those welds are probably effective and maybe okay, good welds, it's not always the pretty welds that are best, right?
Yeah, so here in the welding school, what we teach is not so much the movement of the welding arc, more so just a straight line weld, focusing your wire right into the root of that joint, and that's going to give you the best consistent penetration. When you start swirling or doing triangles or designs, you're actually skipping over the center point of the joint and potentially leaving lack of fusion there. Show you what it looks like.
So my perception of that weld is it's very straightforward and pretty much anybody can do a similar type weld. Maybe not as nice as yours is because you've got many years of experience, but to me, when I see that, it just looks basic. So I always try to do the scallop or the triangle, and I thought that was stronger. Right. You're telling me otherwise.
Correct.
Potentially otherwise.
Right. It could be a totally good weld, but when you do that, you're jumping over the center of that weld. You're actually could be riding on top of the puddle, not actually fusing into that joint.
So the goal for me when I leave here after this trip is to be welding more like that. We'll see if I get there.
Let's see.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah, for sure.
This is my first weld. I try to put them both together, like two of these together, and I realized really quickly this is not like a MIG. Even though it has that little gap, with the MIG I can completely weld that together with no problem. With a TIG, in the other hand, that's not the case. With a TIG, you need to be either overlapping or really, really close to each other. Or either I can't do it or it's not possible to close the gap. I think it's too big of a gap. Now with a MIG, I've closed a really big gap. So that's one thing I learned, that it's just not the same. It's not what you see on Instagram, but it's definitely sticking to metal. It's the one I did, which I thought it was my best one. And the instructor said, it's like, it may look good, but it's really not holding. The strength is not all there, right? It's very small. So I did the exact same thing. He's like, do the exact same thing, just add more filler to it, right? So it can be thicker, right? So that's where the other ones come along. That's why ever since I talked to the instructor, my weld's gotten a lot thicker.
So I started out welding yesterday and I wasn't welding very good at all. And as the day progressed, I actually got worse, I felt like. And now I was trying all kinds of different stuff up here to try to figure out what the problem is or was. I will say that the instructor helped me a ton. And he asked me when he looked at my welds, he said, how are your eyes? And I said, man, not so great. I actually need to get glasses. So we actually added a 1.5 magnifier into my helmet, and that was kind of like the light bulb that went on for me. Like, oh my God, now I can actually see what I'm doing. Now I'm actually jamming, and I just burned this weld right here, which again, far from perfect, but the consistency is much better.
Okay, so this is only day 2, and I'm already moving up to my third material. So this is chromoly tubing, and what I did, I just cleaned it out, and then I made a few cuts so I can make kind of like a T section on it. And this is pretty much gonna help me out a lot around the shop if I ever decide to do like some type of roll cage or fix something or replace something on the roll cage. It's gonna be a different rod, and what it is, it's stronger, right? All right, so that's my first weld, and it feels like I'm melting it way too quickly. So I'm gonna turn my heat down. Just think it's a bit too much. And one of the things is like I can control that with my foot, but I'm a heavy footer, so I like to go full throttle, nothing. Sorry, that's the way I am. See that I made a hole. So two things, too much heat, and I left it there for too long. I should have moved it quicker. Let's see if I can fix it. If not, I'll just start over. Hey! Hey!
So this is a third hand or just a tool that will help
Yeah,
you.
that's cool.
Especially doing like T-joints or holding the part.
Oh, so you put it right there on top.
Hold the part, help put pressure down on it. Welder's tool, third hand.
I really like this, bro. Okay, so this is what I did right now. Doesn't look too bad. I don't know if it's gonna pass the stress test, but. All right, so it seems like the beginning of it was better. That's the beginning and the end. The instructor said to get creative. I don't know how creative he said to get, but this is what I'm coming up with. Started with the T, and then the H, and then I put this here, and then that, and then everything you see how you see that one dot? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those are the welds in order. That way I can keep track which welds that I did first and which ones that I did in the middle and last and all that stuff. So making progress.
So what are you trying to do here, Mick? I'm trying to just weld these together. I was gonna make like some dorky thing. I don't know. Instead of just making a T, just make something fun. But what I'm finding is it's really hard to get into some of these spots, and that's just normal for welding. So this is gonna make me a better fabricator too. The thought process is good. All right, well, I went back to my old steel because the teacher basically said that I need to like really nail the fundamentals of welding before I start like trying to weld thin tubing and stuff like that. I tried, as you guys saw, I burned a couple holes. My welds were too hot, so I went back to my old steel. I'm getting better. Still not great. I'm really struggling with keeping a steady hand and keeping the feed of the rod consistent. And so if you look at my welds, you can see that it's not like super straight. It kind of wanders a little bit, and you can tell the inconsistent feed. So my goal for tomorrow is the class is gonna move on. I'm gonna stay behind actually because I want to get really proficient with this type of welding because this is the type of welding we do most at our shop, and I want to be really good at it.
Okay, so this is my masterpiece, I guess. One of the things the instructor said, that when it comes to this mild steel, the thickness is perfect. But up here, he wants it smaller, a lot smaller than what I did. And my focus now is to try to get the same weld but smaller, right? He said that there is no purpose of getting the weld thicker than the steel itself, right? So you guys see how thin that is. You do not want to go over that because it's literally doing nothing for it, which is a lot harder now. This is the end of day 2. I learned a lot. I probably got 7 hours of welding today, which is insane. This is only day 2. 3 more days to go. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Okay, so here we are. It's a lot louder now because we are welding aluminum. This is day 3, I believe. This was my very first weld, and when you're welding on the inside the mast, you really can't see what's behind you as you're moving forward, right? So you're here, as you're moving forward, you can't see behind you. So when I moved out, I noticed that I had a big old hole in there. So that's due to pedal control, right? Obviously that was too much. So the one next to it, this is me adjusting it, like letting go of the pedal just a bit for me to be able to control the amount of heat going into the metal, and that obviously helped me a lot. And this is everything else here, just me messing with different areas in the pedal and movement, which is why you see 6 different types of welds. And then from here, just like we did with the mild steel, we just move on to flat plates to try to get, the same beat all the way around. This is a lot more heat than less heat, which is why it looks so much wider. A lot of practice for me to get this thing down, so making progress.
Mickey, how's the aluminum treating you?
Oh my gosh, I've never had so much fun welding in my life. I actually love aluminum. I really struggled the first 2 days with stainless steel, mild steel, the chromoly tubing. But I came in here after taking this morning's class, and these are my first, 11 welds. This was my first touch of the pedal right here. I literally just obliterated the aluminum and quickly realized that my settings were correct on the machine, but I was just too heavy with the gas pedal. Story of my life. Then I tried this one, and I moved on to this one and started seeing these little divots on the last puddle, and then I started to try to sort out how to fix that and kind of chased it to the point where I overdid it. What I can say is aluminum is causing me to learn a lot faster. It's accelerated sort of the learning process of pedal modulation, how fast to move the one, how fast to feed the rod. I'm learning a lot. I'm gonna be able to go back to our shop and I'm gonna be an aluminum welding machine, hopefully. That's the goal.
Yeah, 2 pieces of aluminum here. And I really want to try this because this is mainly what we're going to be doing at the shop, right? Is putting pipe to pipe together where it comes to radiator piping or intercooler piping, even intake. So this is really thin aluminum. But I'm going to do the whole side by side first, trying to weld out all the way around, see how it turns out. Wow, that was horrible. You see that? Yeah. Not good. That's way too much heat. I gotta lower my ampage. I am not ready for piping yet. I'm gonna lower my ampage and I'm gonna see what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the basics. I'm gonna go back to the flat plates. I'm not ready for piping yet.
not good, but not terrible. I mean, actually it's pretty terrible. But my first T-joint, I'm stoked. Now I'm gonna flip around and probably try and do another one.
All right, so this is the end of the day, and I finally got it. Actually, my first weld was here, and I ended up sanding it down just because I wanted to make sure that the weld went all the way around the pipe, and it did. And then I extended another pipe here, and that's my other weld. And then I tried a T-fitting, you know, like if you're gonna split it, and even that turned out pretty good. After many, many, many attempts. The trick is patience. So usually when it's a bad weld, like
All the bad ones.
yeah, like this one, you can kind of see like a ring, but there's worse ones here. Yeah, look at that one. You see a little lump? Oh God, look at this one. See the inside, look at the outside. It's so bad. Look at this. So I definitely got better.
Show the inside of that one. No boogers.
Yeah, very, very small one. But the fact that I got this far today, I'm happy with my results, so. All right, well, today's day 4, and today's stainless steel day. Stainless steel plates, stainless steel rod. We'll do the basic, which is 2 plates at the bottom, 1 plate on top. You weld across. Hey! That's actually not bad, bro. Look at that. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. I feel like I needed to push my handle more forward to get my needle closer, but the housing of it didn't allow me to. So one of the things the instructor said is like when you're doing a T, to extend your tungsten more out for you to be able to reach, and I didn't do that, so that's my bad, my mistake. I learned from it right now because of this happened. But overall, as you can see, I did okay right here in this middle section. Okay, today is day 5. It is the last day. Today's purpose, one thing. Remember how I've been practicing the T-joint? Well, I'm going to be doing the weld. And then at the end, if it passes inspection with the instructor, and then they're going to do a pull test. This is going to determine whether I suck or not. Did I just become an expert, bro? Halfway through, I contaminated my tip. Look, that's when that happened. So it's contaminating your bit. Your tip is like, you're like very close to it like this. And if you hit it by mistake, you put weld on the tip and then it just doesn't, you're done. You gotta clean it and then start over. All right, instructor, these are my 4 T's. And be honest, which ones are worthy of the bong and which ones are not?
See a lot of heat on this one. That gray in color. A little too warm there. Let's put that one aside. So a couple of things I look for. The heat on the tubing. Okay. This is good color. It's not spread out too far on the tubing. It doesn't come up and wrap around. Still a little gray in color, telling me it's still a little warm. Tie in here. I'd like to see that tied in a little better.
Right, I know.
A little more uniform. Yeah. Put that in the maybe pile. Ooh, arc strike. What happened there?
I have no idea.
Looks like your tungsten maybe got away from you a little bit. So see that little crater there on your stop?
Right.
That'll be bad. That'll definitely start a crack to propagate right there where that little hole is. That's a fail. You'll want to fill that in, let off your heat, a little more filler.
Okay.
Another one on that side, a little pinhole. I'm going to set that over here in the not so maybe pile.
That one already failed.
This one.
That one looks better on that side.
Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Like to see maybe a little better tie-in. Same thing, fill that in a little bit.
I got to practice this area.
Oh, were you burning through there? Maybe you look like you might have burned through a little bit.
I know I did on one of them.
So let's do,
yeah.
I want you to do one more. This one's a maybe.
All right, so better than this, trash those 3.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
Good fit up, good prep though. Looks good.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna hold on to my bungs for now.
Yeah. Fail.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, so this is it. This one passed the test. That's pretty much what he's looking for. This is the bong. It's extremely thick. Problem with this is like, because this pipe is so thin, you're melting this before this even heats up enough for you to start welding on it. Wow, that took a lot. That took a lot. Dude, I was going full throttle, and I have never had to go full throttle on anything. And I'm going full throttle for a while. I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is... The first lap, I would say, of welding is done. We're gonna let it cool down, and then we're gonna go out for the test.
We're gonna use this contraption. Ricky and I made up these quick little guy. Well, it took me 4 days to make this. Ricky's is way prettier. Mine looks like trash. But we're gonna put them in the machine and see what they do. This is how many? This is tons or thousands of pounds. We've welded in a bung in one side that screws into this guy here, and then there's a pin that goes through that way, and it's gonna pull this and see what breaks.
Yeah, the goal here is for the wheels not to break. That's the goal.
All right, let's screw one of these in there.
It's Mickey.
Oh man, I'm going first. I can already see there's way too much heat in this thing. I already see a void in there, so I know it's gonna probably.
Oh, whoa, Mick.
What's up, dog?
Hold on, dog.
What you got?
Hold on, dog. Yo, what's going on here? Oh, no way, 8,000.
Ah, it broke there.
Right at 8.
That's one of the best. That's one of the best pulls we did, I think.
Wow, that's one of the best pulls we did. I had to say it again so you guys can hear it in the back.
That was one of the best pulls we did today.
You guys hear that? Dang.
Between 5, 6, and 7, mainly the biggest one we had was like right on 9,500.
Up there, yeah. It broke outside of the weld, which is really good. Broke in the heat affected zone. That's pretty standard.
Oh man, I don't even want to pull mine up.
Oh man, the needle doesn't work.
Oh, he's gonna say, hey, you better put it on 0.
All right, here we go.
All right, Ricky, what do you think it's gonna do?
55. Okay, maybe 6.
Dang. Hey.
Come on, dog, let's go. Ah, let's go.
What's up, dude?
Wait, 9. Yo, you're gonna break the machine.
You're gonna break the machine.
9. Let's go, baby. Go.
Oh!
Yeah.
Even better. Even better.
Hold on, dog. He failed me 10 times before I got it right.
Well,
You know what? Thank you, man.
Right, I knew you could do better every time. I knew you could do better, so crushed it.
Oh man, I'm happy. 9,000. And I think we broke the machine again. Then it went outside the window. Look at that. That's like best case scenario right here.
I think we're gonna need
That's
to come
awesome.
back for the next course. All right, well, our week is done here in Cleveland, Ohio at Lincoln Welding School, and we passed our motorsports class. We both got our certificates, and we just want to give a huge shout out to Travis Edmonds for helping us this week, really giving us the tools we need to go back to our shop and actually produce welds that are structural.
Yeah, it's great having you guys. This really is, it's a fun class.
It
you always
is.
You get a good group of guys in here. So
Yeah,
it's always fun. You never know what to expect.
People were from everywhere. You had locals, we had people from the other side of the country. What about you, Mr. Ricky?
Once again, thank you. I want to shake your
Yeah, for
hands.
sure.
It was
Absolutely.
an amazing class, and you need to come to San Diego and check out our shop.
Yeah, I'd love to.
For
That'd be
sure.
great.